Thanks for tuning into the Disembodied Screams podcast. Those returning, thank you. Those new to this podcast, welcome. Now let's get started. And it's funny where life's journeys take you occasionally. I just did an interview with Ron Albanese. I finally remembered his name, Ron. And in conversation, talking to him about Jimmy Buffett and his YouTube channel and stuff he does, he threw out this thing that his daughter is in a band, plays bass, and they play hardcore death metal style music. And I was like, sign me up. Let me go listen to them. And I did. And I found the album by Final Girls that I'm going to get into today. And I highly, highly recommend. And after listening to the album, seeing the cover, seeing the title, I was like, that belongs on this podcast. And it is here, it is now, and let's get into it. And I'm going to start with, like I do everything else on this new format, the cover. And I'm going to rate this cover. And looking at this cover, it is a straight up 6 from start to finish. If I saw this cover, I would say horror. Horror would just be beeping in my brain and buzzing in my brain the whole time. I mean, it looks like the Virgin Mary in my mind, and she's bleeding from the eyes with these red eyes. It's all in black, so that red really pops and stands out. And she's holding a knife. Looks like the knife's got some blood running down, and the blood's running down her hand. And it's inside, it's like a church, and there's like this golden halo around her head. So it looks like, and her eyes are like all white, like they're possessed, like from the Evil Dead movies. So it is very horrific. It stands out to me a lot. I mean, might be a little sacrilegious too, but it's definitely very horrific from start to finish. And it's the kind of stuff that when I started this podcast, I was like, this is the kind of stuff I want to find. Bands that I don't really know of very well, bands that are new, find these really awesome album covers like this that I've never seen before. So this is the kind of album cover that during the satanic panic of the 80s, if you had parents who were against all that, they would have frowned on this one big time. So solid 6 for the cover. And the title, I give the title a 5. The title is Occult Classic, like cult classic, but a cult classic. Very, very clever. But that has that's leaning definitely like the 6. It's leaning more towards Freddy's Nightmares, which is the number 6 on here, than Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which is number 1. So a cult classic, that title pops. That pops. Very horrific title. And if you're kind of wondering, occult actually means supernatural, mystical, or magical beliefs, practices, or phenomena. So there you go. I mean, just reason you'd have it as 5 right there. So anyways, we got the cover at 6. We got the title at 5. Let's move on into album info from 47magazine.com. There's not a lot of information on this band on the web because they're brand new. And I did manage to find a little bit though. So it goes like this. Final Girls is an all ghouls. It's an all ghouls metal band based in North New Jersey. Originally established in 2020 by bassist Sophia Albanese as a punk band. Later in 2022 to be rebranded as a metal band with new members now with Sophia Damasi on drums, Ashley Hernandez on guitar, and Casey Cruz on vocals. Girl can do some vocals, some hardcore death metal vocals. They contain a unique blend of hardcore and death metal with a heavy gothic influence. I'm here to create a crossbreed of genres you've never heard before. Their various influences including 90s death metal, goth, new wave, groove metal, grindcore, beatdown, hardcore punk, and more. Help pave the way for pioneering a new haunting genre of blood-chilling horror-themed metal. And that's a lot of genres in one band, and I can hear all that. And I don't know a lot of those genres. I mean, especially beatdown. I don't know what beatdown is. If you know, let me know. This will eventually be on YouTube. You can comment there. It's on Spotify. Comment there. songlines@10lines@gmail.com if you want to send me an email. Let me know what some of those genres are and give me some examples of genres from those genres and some bands I would like maybe dive into eventually. Moving on, this same website asked, what artists do you get inspiration from? Image influences Misfits, Crypta, Alice Cooper, Motley Crue, The Cramps, Typo Negative, Writing and Typo Negative. Those were the image influences. The writing influences come from Arch Enemy, As I Lay Dying, Lamb of God, Gojira, Knocked Loose, Carcass, Pig Destroyer, and Crypta. And I've got to go listen to Pig Destroyer today. With a name like Pig Destroyer, I've got to listen to him. Maybe Cattle Decapitation and Pig Destroyer can tour together sometime. I wonder what that would be like. Wow. All right, and he goes on to ask, it says, describe your music as a color or a set of colors. I can't talk today. And I thought this was kind of neat too. Purple, black, and red. Maybe a little green. So that's pretty cool. It'd be cool if more bands could break down their sound and their style to a color. You know, it might be kind of interesting to dive into that, see if I can figure out some colors for certain bands. But I'm going to put a link in the show notes to that. So if you guys do want to read further, there's more in that interview. But I pulled out some of the juicy nuggets, so to speak. The bleeding scab nuggets. Let's keep it kind of horror right now, right? Or a little cringy. I'm not sure which one that one was. All right, track listing goes like this. Population Control, Guillotine, Kill Him Now, Slasher, Lady M, Vendetta, and Just Give In. And surprisingly, there were singles. Population Control looks like has it as a single, so that's kind of interesting to learn. It's funny that some of these bands are actually still putting out singles, even these deathcore, hardcore metal bands. And looking up at the songs, I always rate the songs once I do the songs. And I give the songs a 3. They're somewhere between Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Freddy's Nightmares. They don't exactly scream horror, but they don't exactly not scream horror. I mean, you got songs like Guillotine, Kill Him Now, Slasher, Just Give In, which can mean anything. So there are some horrific sounding songs in there if you look close enough. And I might throw a few mulligans in occasionally, like the Abigail mulligans, or maybe if the titles don't sound as horrific, maybe the songs themselves are pretty horrific. So maybe there might be a little bit of that in here too. So here is the point in the episode where I add up the cover, the title, and the songs, throw them in a big cauldron, mix it all together, and pull out the final rating. And this album came out at a 4.7, leaning really heavy in the Freddy's Nightmares direction, a little further away from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So 4.7, which puts it officially, of the few songs I've done that are horror related on this podcast, in the top 5. So Dying Fetus, Make Them Beg for Death, which should have already released. King Diamond, Abigail. Let's see, Dying Fetus's album was 5.4. King Diamond, Abigail, 5.2. King Diamond, Abigail 2 is 5. Future episode coming up, Cannibal Corpse, Chaos Horrific. Just listened to that album and for the first time and really liked it. You know, it's cool that Cannibal Corpse, their sound hasn't changed a tremendous amount, and they still sound amazing, even in 2025. I'm not sure when that album was released, but it was pretty recently, so sounds great. That's coming up soon. That's a 4.9. Final Girls, 4.7. And another album that is going to come up soon, probably after, it's going to come up after Final Girls. That's the next one I'm recording, actually. Ice Nine Kills, The Silver Scream, 4.7. I've seen a few of their concert highlights on Instagram and stuff recently, and man, I got to go see one of those shows. They look wild from start to finish. And closing out this top 5 is there's a tie for 3 at 5. Cattle Decapitation, Terracite at 4.7. So there you go. Sip of water as my voice starts to crack. There you go. That's my top 5. So I'm going to kind of keep up with this, what I'm calling the horrific top 5. And I've kind of gone through some loose scripts of some future episodes and the Black Dahlia Murders. Nocturnal, I think was the name of the album. I think that's going to be number 1. I think that's got Dying Fetus by just a notch. Because that album cover, when I saw that album cover, I was like, straight up chills. It gave me spooky vibes straight through. So looking forward to getting into that one. So, and that's a great album too. I just listened to it recently and I really, really liked it. All right, let me drop anchor here and close out the episode. If you like what you hear, don't forget to tap the follow button if you're on the podcast, wherever you are on the podcast, whatever platform you're listening, just find a way to follow along, find a way to review, like, all that jazz. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. Hit that like button until it just screams bloody murder. You know the drill there too. So, and if you know of more female fronted metal bands, Please let me know. Comment on Spotify, comment on YouTube. I would love to cover as many female fronted bands as I can find. I know there's a lot of them out there, and I've looked at some and seen some. So that's my goal on the podcast too, is not just to highlight the dudes in metal, but I want to highlight the females in metal too. There's a lot of great female artists that I think get overlooked because you don't exactly think of females when it comes to heavy metal, but there's some great female vocalists out there. Dora Pesh comes to mind, for goodness sake. So, all right, that's it. Thanks again for listening. Take care. Have a good one.